योगमायया अरब्धा ते योगमायारब्धा पारमेष्ट्या महोदयं पारमेष्ट्या महोदयं प्रोचुः प्राञ्जलयः विप्राः प्रोचुः प्राञ्जलयो विप्राः प्रहृष्टाः क्षुभितत्वचः प्रहृष्टाः क्षुभितत्वचः ते योगमायारब्धा पारमेष्ट्या महोदयं प्रोचुः प्राञ्जलयो विप्राः प्रहृष्टाः क्षुभितत्वचः ते योगमायारब्धा पारमेष्ट्या महोदयं प्रोचुः प्राञ्जलयो विप्राः प्रहृष्टाः क्षुभितत्वचः। Delighted. Kshubhitatvachaha, hair standing on end. Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. The four Brahmana sages were nevertheless extremely delighted to behold him, and they experienced a thrill throughout their bodies. They spoke as follows to the Lord, who had revealed the multi-glories of the Supreme Personality through his internal potency, yoga-māyā. Please repeat the translation. The four Brahmana sages were nevertheless extremely delighted to behold him, and they experienced a thrill throughout their bodies. They then spoke as follows to the Lord, who had revealed the multi-glories of the Supreme Personality through his internal potency, yoga-māyā. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The sages were almost too puzzled to speak before the Supreme Personality of Godhead for the first time, and the hairs of their bodies stood erect due to their extreme joy. The highest opulence in the material world is called Paramestya, the opulence of Brahma. But that material opulence of Brahma, who lives on the topmost planet within this material world, cannot compare to the opulence of the Supreme Lord, because the transcendental opulence in the spiritual world is caused by yoga-māyā, whereas the opulence in the material world is caused by Maha-māyā. Doesn't say Bhaktivedanta purport. Om ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshuram militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Nama om Vishnu padaya Krishna prashtaya bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the sages, they were earlier confused in the last verse we saw, whether Lord was satisfied with them or dissatisfied with them, whether he was praising them or he was chastising them. So now they got a conclusion. He says, Te yoga-māyā ārabdaha. So the glories of the Lord, which were revealed to them, yoga-māyā, which were part of internal potency, ārabdaha, got revealed to them. Means they could understand the mood of the Lord. Te yoga-māyā ārabda. Parameshya mahodayam, of whom Parameshya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who was standing in front of them. Mahavudayam, all his multi-glorious activities. So all the technical information, all the knowledge about the Lord became revealed to them by yoga-māyā potency. So what happened at that time? Prochuhu pranjalaya vipraha. Vipraha, the four brahmanas, Kumaras, Prochuhu, they began to speak. Pranjalayaha, with folded hands. So they understood their position, their capacity. They were very happy. That Lord was happy. So out of extreme happiness, what was their reaction? Prahrushtaha kshubhitatvachaha. They were extremely delighted. Because they now they could understand Lord was very happy with them. So they became very happy. Earlier they were wondering whether Lord became angry within them or Lord was disturbed by their act of cursing his doorkeepers. Now they understood Lord was very pleased. So they also became prahrushtaha, extremely delighted. And kshubhitatvachaha, hair standing on the end. Or their entire body experienced a thrill. It's like a sudden current shock has gone through entire body. The thrill will be at two times. When you are extremely happy, your body will experience that jaladharim panta Telugu. Means it will be like a sudden feel, like some sudden shock where your body, see, when will hair on the body stand erect? When you are extreme happy, or when you are in extreme distress, or when you get a current shock. When you get a current shock also, all your hair will stand. That like poles, they get straight. So here also they experience the thrill across the entire body. Now, what was that means? What was the understanding? The sages were almost too puzzled to speak before the Supreme Lord for the first time, and the hairs of their body stood erect due to their extreme joy. Because it is a sudden experience that coming in front of the Lord, and Lord became pleased by their actions. It's a sudden thing which they had never expected. So in that way it was the extreme joy what they are going through. So it says, the four Brahmana sages were nevertheless extremely delighted. Vipraha prahrushtaha. To behold him, and they experienced a thrill throughout their bodies. Kshubhitatvachaha. They then spoke as follows to the Lord. Te prochuhu pranjalayaha. Who had revealed the multi-glories of the Supreme Personality. Yoga-māyā ārabda parameshya mahodayam, through his internal potency, yoga-māyā. So to understand about the Lord, yoga-māyā has to reveal the knowledge about the Lord. By our material qualification, we will never be able to understand the Lord. So when you engage in that proper mood and perspective, as explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, how do we understand Krishna? What is the process to understand Krishna? Any idea which shloka? 11th chapter, 54. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yashasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tad anantara. So bhaktyamam abhijanati. Janati means to know. Bhaktyamam, only by engaging in devotional service. Abhijanati, you can know me. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yashasmi tattvataha. As I am, in truth, tattvataha. In reality, if you have to understand, you have to engage in devotional service. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yashasmi tattvataha. Tato mam tattvato jnatva. If you know in truth, what happens? Vishate tad anantaram. Once you quit this body, Vishate, tad anantaram, you will come to my abode. So this is the perspective. So when we engage in pure devotional service, then Lord will reveal himself to us. Now how much he will reveal? To the capacity to which we can understand that much. Because Lord is unlimited. We are all limited. Can limited understand unlimited? Even Lord cannot understand himself because he is unlimited. Bhagavatam says, Anantadeva, with his thousands of mouths, has been glorifying the Lord from time immemorial. Until now, not even he has reached a portion of the Lord's glories. Means, how much are the Lord's glories? Unlimited. So the Kumaras, what they experienced as a 5-year-old boys, a same experience was given to Dhruva Maharaja. What was Dhruva Maharaja's capacity? He is also a 5-year-old boy, scolded by his stepmother. Out of frustration, out of anger, out of revenge, he came out of the house. He wanted to somehow or other achieve the thing of a kingdom which none of his family members had ever had the opportunity. Who were his family members? His father. His father is Uttanapada. His father is Manu, whose father is Brahma. So he wanted a kingdom beyond Brahma. Is it practically possible? Materially possible, is it? You want to have a position beyond Brahma in a universe? It is impossible. But still, determination. He was so determined when he went to his mother. Mother asked him, why are you crying? What is the situation? He explained. Then he said, how do I achieve something? Mother said, only Supreme Lord blesses you, it can happen. Then where do I find the Supreme Lord? Yogis go to forest to find the Supreme Lord. See, that's what mother said. Yogis used to go to forest to find the Lord. So hearing that, he left his house. He went to the forest. Seeing his, Narada Muni came and asked him, why are you going? Where are you going? You are a small boy. This is not the age for revenge, all these things, and I'll go back. When you grow up, all these things can be taken care. No, he said, no, I am here for my commitment. I want something to achieve. See, the Kshatriya spirit, that to achieve something, that was there heavily in him. He is not ready to give up that spirit, even though a small boy. So Narada Muni became fascinated by him and seeing his sincerity. So he initiated him with the mantra. So, and gave him direction where to go and engage in tapasya also. So when he went to Madhuvana, near in Vrindavan, Mathura, one of the vanas, Dvadash vanas, he went there, engaged in tapasya. In 6 months, because of his severe austerities, he was able to have darshan of the Lord. So much severe that when he was exhaling and inhaling, the entire universe was exhaling and inhaling. He became in sync with the universe. And when he became in sync with the universe, the entire inhabitants of the universe are also feeling suffocated because he was inhaling and exhaling once in 15 days. So once in 15 days they were inhaling and exhaling means, so how can people live? So all the demigods, they became worried, he is going to take as our life. So they all went to Vishnu and they all prayed, my dear sir, please do something. So to satisfy his devotees also, the Lord appeared to the stage where Dhruva was there. Lord blessed him. Because Dhruva Maharaj was meditating within his heart, suddenly the image what he was meditating upon vanished from his heart. So when he opened his eyes, he suddenly saw that Supreme Personality standing in front of him. So how his meditation broke? Now who is that personality who stood in front of Dhruva Maharaj? What is his name? Who is that Vishnu? Prishnigarbha. That was the personality who had appeared. That was the first incarnation of Krishna for the 3 times. Prishni Sutapa, their son was Prishnigarbha. The second was Aditi Kashyapa, their son was Vamana. Third was Devaki Vasudeva. The third time was Krishna. So Prishnigarbha was the incarnation who presented before Dhruva Maharaj and blessed him. And when Dhruva Maharaj was a small boy, he did not know what to do. He does not know any etiquette. So he was just ecstatic. His entire body was a small boy shivering and not able to utter any word. So he was thinking in his mind, he wanted to offer some prayers to the Lord. So he was in utter confusion, what to know, where to start, or how to start, he doesn't have any idea. So he fell at the lotus feet of the Lord, he was kissing the lotus feet of the Lord, a small boy, that ecstasy, and he was catching hold of the Lord, and after some time, Lord could understand the precarious situation what Dhruva was going through. He blessed him by touching his conch shell on the top of Dhruva Maharaja's head. Then all the transcendental knowledge about the Lord got revealed within Dhruva Maharaj. Then immediately he started offering prayers. All the prayers that we are reciting in the morning now, in this sequence now. So in that way, the same thing Kumaras also got experience. But Lord did not touch them, but they had a different touch. What is that touch? They had experienced the fragrance coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. That entered into their nostrils and they experienced a change in their consciousness. And they are able to visualize the Lord as He is, as per Vedic revelation. So, what is so special about the Lord? Bhagavatam glorifies the capacity of the Lord or the potency of the Lord. It says in the 11th canto, these verses can be applied to Lord Krishna, Lord Ramachandra also, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. It says, Dhyeyam sada paribhavagnam abhishtadoham tirthaspadam shiva virinchi nutam sharanyam bhrutyartaham pranatapala bhavabdipotam vande mahapurushate charanarvinda. Says, Vande mahapurushate charanarvinda. Vande mahapurusha. Oh my dear Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vande mahapurusha. Te charanarvindam. At your lotus feet, I offer my obeisances. Now who are you? Dhyeyam sada. You are the person who has to be always meditated upon. Dhyeyam sada. Then paribhavagnam. When you meditate, what will happen? Then he who destroys all the insults to his devotees. Parabhava means defeat. Paribhava means all the insults, negative perspectives. Paribhavagnam means he will defeat or he will remove all the unwanted things from the devotee. Paribhavagnam. Abhishta doham, and he is, doham means to bestow. Abhishta means benedictions. He is the giver of benedictions to the devotees. Lord is known as Varada Raja, Abhaya Hasta. He is holding his hand like this means it is called as he is blessing the devotees. Bhaya, Abhaya, fearlessness. The biggest thing what we get from the Lord is fearlessness. So, Abhishta Doham means one who is ready to bestow whatever the devotee desires. But devotee does not desire anything. Next, Abhishta Doham. Tirthaspadam. His lotus feet are so glorious that they have become like the tirthas, the sacred place. Or the place where the great sages meditate upon. Tirthaspadam. Shiva Virinchi Nutam. Even the great demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma and all the great personalities are absolutely meditating upon that person, completely devoted to him. Shiva Virinchi Nutam. Sharanyam, the worthy shelter who can be given, the worthy shelter whom we can take dependence upon. Sharanyam. Bhrutyartyaham, Bhrutya Artyaham, one who removes the distress of his devotees. Bhrutya Arti, the distress of the devotees. Aham, one who cleanses off. Bhrutyartyaham. Pranatapala Bhavabdi Potam. Pranatapala, for his devotees, he is that Potam, the transcendental boat. Pranatapala Bhavabdi Potam. Where to this boat to cross upon? Bhavabdi, the cycle of birth and death, samsara. For his surrendered souls, he is that boat by which we can cross his cycle of birth and death. Such is the glories of the Lord. He is that great personality. That personality whom the Kumaras are experiencing. So it explains, Dhyeyam Sada, always to be meditated upon. So this indicates there are no hard and fast rules in this age of chanting of the holy name. Everybody can meditate upon all the time. Paribhavagnam, one who has taken shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, loses all the hard knots of the heart that psychologically bind him to the hallucination of identifying with the external body. The moment we take birth in this world, what is the first thing what parents and others do? Our Vamshodharaka has taken birth. We have been identified, Chapa Mardiya, so and so family, so and so personality. Your name is followed by surname. All material bodily designations have been identified with us. So, as soon as we come under the shelter of the Lord, all bodily designations are cut to pieces. Next, Tirthaspadam means the lotus feet of the Lord are the shelter of all holy places. All holy places means all the places where pure rivers flow and pure rivers emanate from the lotus feet of the Lord. It's in this way, Tirthaspadam. Next, Shiva Virinchi Nutam, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma meticulously worship the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Next, Sharanyam, even great devotees, they feel not secure unless they have sheltered the lotus feet of the Lord. Bhrityartyaham Pranatapala indicates one simply bows down without duplicity at the lotus feet of the Lord will give him such a sincere candidate all protection. Pranatapala, Pala means maintainer, protector. Pranata means one who is surrendered personality, for him the Lord is the protector. Bhavabdi Portam, a suitable board for crossing this ocean of material existence. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies Krishna's qualities in conversation. In one place he says, Purve Ami Inhara Lobaila Bharabara Parama Madhura Gupta Vrajendra Kumara. So this is in context to, who is that? Hanuman Murari Gupta. So in context to Murari Gupta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was emphasizing about Krishna's personality. He says, Purve Ami Inhare Lobaila Bharabara. Many times I had earlier tried to preach him about glories of Krishna. Parama Madhura Gupta Vrajendra Kumara. Krishna's unique form, he is very divine. Parama Madhura, very sweetness. Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Sarvamsi Sarvashraya. Jai Shri Radha Govindaki. Krishna is the Supreme Personality, Swayam Bhagavan, Sarva Amshi, Sarva Ashraya. He is the origin of all incarnations and he is the source of everything. Sarva Amshi, Sarva Ashraya. Then, Vishuddha Nirmala Prema, Sarva Rasamaya. Vishuddha, pure, Nirmala, clean, Prema, love. Sarva Rasamaya, he is the reservoir of all pleasures. Sakala Sadguna Vrinda Ratna Ratnakara. So he is Sadguna Vrinda Ratna Ratnakara. He is reservoir of all transcendental qualities and he is a mine of all gems, like a mine of all gems. Vidagda Chatura Dhira Rasika Shekara. He is Vidagda, he is very expert. Chatura, very intelligent. Dhira, very sober. Rasika Shekara, he is summit of all transcendental humors. Madhura Charitra Krishnera Madhura Vilasa Chaturya Vaidagya Kare Yandra Leela Rasa. Madhura Charitra, his character is very sweet. Krishnera Madhura Milasa, his pastimes are very melodious. Chaturya Vaidagya Kare Yandra Leela Rasa, he is very expert in intelligence, Chaturya Vaidagya and Yandra Leela Rasa, and he enjoys his own pastimes and mellows. So such is his capacity. Now, why did he perform this pastime? It will be explained later. Why Lord made these Kumaras to curse Jai Vijaya? That will be revealed further. So, Lord enjoys his own pastimes. A similar situation was experienced one more place between two Vaishnavas. A fight had appeared between two Vaishnavas. This was King Prithu in the 4th canto. Prithu, who was an incarnation of the Lord Shakti Avesh Avatara. So he had taken a vow to perform 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. What is the specialty of this number 100? Anyone who performs 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas becomes qualified to sit on the position of Indra. See, Indra is a post. So anybody materially performs 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, he becomes qualified to sit on the post of Indra. So most of the times we get confused. These demigods, names and positions are different. So our Indra's name is, what is his name? Purandara. So Indra is a post, Brahma is a post, like that. So that post, anybody who is materially qualified can come and sit there. So Prithu Maharaj, when he performed 99 sacrifices, he is about to perform the 100th sacrifice. So Indra is not in a pure devotee category. Prithu Maharaj was incarnation of the Lord himself. He is in a pure devotee category. Shakti Avesh Avatara. So Indra was always in a materialistic mode. Whenever there is an opportunity, he feels insecure. So he was thinking, now Prithu Maharaj will perform 100 sacrifices. He becomes qualified to sit on my seat. So he is going to overthrow me and occupy me and kabja. He was thinking in that perspective. But Prithu Maharaj was doing all these activities just for the satisfaction of the Lord, never for any material gain or anything. But feeling insecure, what did Indra do? On the 100th sacrifice, when the program was happening, he suddenly appeared on that arena, dressed like a sannyasi in a Mayavadi dress, something like that, and he took away that horse and vanished from there. So at that particular point, Prithu Maharaj's son started following him. He tried to chase him. So seeing that a sannyasi was taking away horse, he came back. But sannyasis cannot be offended. So Atri, who was performing on behalf of Prithu Maharaj, he said, no, that is not sannyasi, that is Indra, who has done a Pashandi poster. He has accepted the form of a Pashandi. So then this boy Vishwajit, he went behind and he was about to shoot his arrow. Seeing that Indra is going to be attacked, Indra left his post there, left that horse and went away there. So that boy brought back the horse. Again the sacrifice started. Again sometime in between, Indra came up with one more dress, like a skull cap, like a sannyasi who carries a ekadanda with a skull cap, created a dense dark illusion and took away the horse. Again everybody wondering, where is that horse, where is that horse? Again Atri showed him, say, there is Indra, he is taking away the horse. Again this boy followed. But when he saw that again that he was like a sannyasi of a different sampradaya, again he came back. And that Atri said, no, you have to punish him. He is Indra. Then again he went, and when he tried to attack, then again Indra vanished from there. He brought the horse and he handed over. So third time again Indra was doing all these things, and all this time Prithu Maharaj, who was sitting in the yajna, generally they are not supposed to get up from the yajna when they are doing the process. He became very angry. He took up his bow and arrow and he wanted to kill directly Indra. So then the sages who are performing the sacrifice, they said, no, don't do. You should not touch the weapon while you are doing because you have been sanctified. So Indra has become so low. Why to kill him in such a way? We'll chant a mantra, we'll pull him down and put him in the sacrifice. Swaha. With our mantras, we can pull him and put him in the fire. Then they were forcefully chanting the mantras that Indra to be pulled from his position and fall down into the fire sacrifice. At that particular point, Lord Brahma came and said, no, don't do all these things. This is not the etiquette. Then he started preaching, Prithu Maharaj, you are the knowledgeable person. You know, you are not this body, you are a personality of spiritual personality with all the empowerment by the Lord. Why are you doing material consciousness? So the more you do, Indra will become frustrated and he will bring more and more irreligion to the society. Better leave him. So most of the people, see, 99 is big or 100 is big? Brahma said, no, 99 is big. So you wanted to do 100, no? So if you do 100, again Indra will come and do something. So better, I will say that now 99 is supreme than 100, then you need not perform the 100 sacrifice. So in that way he said 99 is superior to 100, stop this sacrifice. So finally Prithu Maharaj accepted the divine instructions of the superior, Lord Brahma. Then he halted that situation. So at that particular point, Lord Vishnu appeared there to pacify the situation. This time he came with Indra, who was hiding behind him. So the Lord said, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Eshate Akarshit Bangam Hayamedena Satashyaha Kshamapayata Atmanam Amushya Kshantum Arhasi. He said, Eshate Akarshit Bangam. He is that Indra who has come here, who was trying to do interruption in your sacrifice. Hayameda Satashyaha, on the 100th sacrifice of Ashwamedha Yajna. Kshamapayata Atmanam, now he has fallen at your feet and he is expecting to be forgiven. Kshamapayata. Amushya Kshantum Arhasi, now you have to forgive him. Please forgive him. See, when the Lord, Supreme Lord himself is saying, see, both are devotees in one way to the Lord. Because most of the times, Indra is executing on the mission of the Lord here. He is in charge of the material world. He is like a king. So, on behalf of the Lord, since he is executing his duty, Lord also tries to protect his personality. And again, one more personality, he is also a great devotee. So, combination Lord has to plan. Both devotees have to be satisfied. So, he made Indra come and fall at the feet of Prithu Maharaj. And Prithu Maharaj immediately embraced him and hugged him and forgot all the negative perceptions, whatever had happened till before. Saittam loka guruna vishwakshena vishwajit anushashita adesham sirasa jagrihe hare. So after hearing from the Lord, Saittam loka guruna, the spiritual master of the universe, Vishwakshenena Vishwajit, the conqueror of this universe, the Supreme Lord Vishnu, when he himself spoke, Anushashita Adesham, as Anushashita, as instructed, Adesham, the duties to be followed, Sirasa Jagrihe Harehe. He offered his, paid his obeisances and accepted the instructions as given by the Lord. Sprushantam Padayo Premna. Then Indra came forward, Sprushantam touching the feet, Padayo Premna, out of love. Vriditam Svena Karmana, and he felt ashamed by the actions what he had done earlier. Shatakratum Parisvajya, because he has tried to obstruct the 100th sacrifice. Vidvesham Vishasharjaha. So, Prithu Maharaj, Vidvesham, all his anger, enviousness, Vishasharjaha, he left it aside. So, what happens? See, if you do not follow the instructions of the Lord, what will happen? Lord ordered you something. If you don't follow, what will happen? What will happen? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Na sukam na param gatim. Neither there will be happiness in this world, nor there is no next higher destination for you. So there is no happiness anywhere. Recently I came across a small joke which is relating to this perspective. So we are in Kali Yuga, with a family, wife, husband, some children, parents or anything. No, who is the master of the house? Who is the Vishnu of the house? Huh? In Kali Yuga I am saying, that's why in other yugas it would have been the male head percentage of the house. Since we are in Kali Yuga, it is the wife who is the master of the house. Whatever she says, you have to follow, or else there is no scope for you. See, if you don't follow, what will happen? So they were explaining a joke. Dashrath Maharaj, he came under the instruction of his wife, Kaikeyi. He discarded Lord Ramachandra, but he followed the instruction. Then Sita asked Lord Ramachandra, I wanted a golden deer. Even though Ramachandra knows that there is no golden deer, but still he followed. But one personality, Ravana, he did not hear to his wife Mandodari. Mandodari said, Sita Devi is a pativrata, don't touch her, don't go behind her. But what happened? He did not listen. The result is, he died that day in the hands of Rama, and even today he is dying every day, every year. Every Ram Navami he is burnt. Not only death, but continuous death, life after life, like year after year, is being burnt continuously. So if you don't hear the master's voice, this is what the Paryavasana. So we have to be very careful if you don't hear. So Lord is giving the instruction. That's why devotees have to practice or implement that instruction. So there is one story which Lord Krishna narrated to Arjuna. This comes in Adi Purana. This is about the previous life of Putana, how she became the demon. So Lord Krishna explaining to Narada Muni. So there was a sage by name Kala Bhiru on the bank of river Saraswati. He had a daughter by name Charumati, so whom he gave in marriage to Kakshivanta. This girl who was very extremely beautiful, Charumati, and she is embodiment of all good qualities. As a good wife, she told her husband, as Grihastha Dampati, it is important for us to worship Lord Hari. If a wife and husband does not worship Hari, they will go to hell. So hearing these wise words from his wife, Kakshivanta gave up everything else and focused on worshipping only the Supreme Lord, day and night, day after day. So he would not accept even a drop of water till that day's commitment of service to the Lord has finished. So they followed this ritual for a long time. Gradually both of them attained unconditional love for Lord Krishna. And they were always singing the glories of the Lord. And Kakshivanta would preach about Lord Krishna and he would not listen. And he would also listen with rapt attention while others were glorifying. Bodhayanta Katayantaha. So he and his wife, they worshipped Lord Vishnu by Navaveda Bhakti for a long time. And when they worshipped the Lord with unconditional love, the Lord also accepted their service. After some time, Kakshivanta had planned to go for a pilgrimage. He instructed his dear wife what to do, because wife had to stay at home, because it was too much traversing path, traveling across India, entire various holy places. He said, never decorate yourself, never put flowers which are never offered to the Lord, never put any alankara which is not offered to the Lord, never disrespect any guest who comes to the house, never visit another's house for any sense of enjoyment. Like that he gave all the customary things, how a devotee should follow and practice all these things and all. After giving the instructions, he went away. For some time she was practicing very nicely, only minding her own business, always in the service of the Lord, from morning to night, always singing, chanting and other experiences and all she was doing. So one day while Charumati was walking in the forest to collect some fruits and flowers for the daily worship, she came across one person who was a Shudra, who became fascinated by her beauty, and he started line mar. He started approaching her in a seductive mode. He started glorifying her. He started teasing her. He's trying all possible means. He said, why are you wasting your life? You are meant for enjoying the senses. You are meant to enjoy this body. Why are you wasting whole day in that worship of the Supreme Lord, all these things and all. Like that, after repeated negative preaching, her mind started thinking of that Shudra. For a period of time, she started associating with that Shudra. She started enjoying with that Shudra. After some days, Kakshivanta finished his pilgrimage, came back home. He saw wife was in a different mentality. Even though she was at the house, but she was always thinking of that Shudra mentality person, all these things. And finally, he confronted her wife and spoke to her. Because you have lost the Vedic perspective, the commitment for a grahastha, what you have done, you have forgotten all these things and all. So he cursed her, you wicked-minded witch, because you cheated upon me and took association with a Shudra, you have become contaminated and have disrespected our dynasty. Therefore, you take birth as a Rakshashi. And as a Rakshashi, you will perform all sinful activities and you will cause disturbance into the world. And one day in the future, when Lord Krishna will kill you and give you liberation from that Rakshashi birth, since you have performed bhakti for so many years, and since you have performed bhakti, and for many good things in this life, no misfortune will fall upon you. A person who prays to Lord Vishnu and he is a devotee even for a few days never meets misfortune. That 2.40, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhat. Like in that way he instructed, because you have done bhakti for many days. You have fallen temporarily, you might accept that position, but there is no loss. Because you would have committed sinful activities, you would have gone to hell. But since it is a curse, you are cleansing of all your sinful activities in that perspective. Then Narada Muni asked to Lord Krishna, how could you touch Putana, whose thoughts and mind were completely contaminated? How could you drink milk from her breast? Then Krishna started explaining further story. He said there was a great Rishi by name Shavana Muni. Due to performing extreme austerities, he purified his mind and body and soul. and surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord. And after performing austerity for many, many years, he became completely peaceful. So the Rakshasas in the Patala Loka did not like these austerities and all. So they attacked him with their entire army. They wanted to disturb him, they wanted to destroy his penance and austerity. So they came there, they started singing, dancing, all these things and all. Hearing their filthy voices and all the unanswered nonsense and all, the sage opened his eyes and broke his meditation. So seeing the disturbance caused by these demons, all his austerity, towards his austerity, the sage brought out various demigods out of his body, who came and destroyed the entire Rakshasas. Now all the sages, now all that demigods who came out, they requested the sage what they should do. So then the sage Shravanamuni said, all of you go take shelter of Lord Shiva and he will give you further guidance how to proceed in your actions. So all the great sages became very happy. They started to, walking towards Kailasha. When they came near Kailasha, they saw Lord Shiva seated with Parvati Devi on his lap, and both of them were under meditation. By seeing that particular form, wife and husband sitting on that lap, these people became captivated by the beauty of Parvati Devi, and they wanted to associate with Parvati Devi. They wanted to enjoy Parvati Devi, the demigods. But after some time they realized what a grave mistake we have done. We have come here to take the association of the Lord, and we are trying to take away the asset of the Lord himself. And they immediately felt very repentance, and they wanted to purify themselves from that thought. So while they were contemplating in this way how to come out of these perspectives, Lord Shiva came out of the meditation. When he saw all the demigods there, he became very happy, and he blessed them, and he inquired from them what is the reason, why they are little confused in their understanding. Then all the demigods, they said, sir, this is what happened. When we came here, when we saw Parvati Devi, we became infatuated by her beauty, and we mentally contemplated of associating with her. Then we understood the mistake, and now we have done a great offense to you and to her feet. Please forgive us and please punish us in an appropriate way. Then Lord Shiva became very happy, and he said, since you have accepted your mistake and you have repented for the purpose, but still you have to go through a reformatory process. All of you demigods will take birth in Vrindavan, and you will take all babies' form. And when Putana comes to kill all of you, so you will be killed by the milk of Putana. She will take all of you, she will abduct and she will kill you. And later when Putana gets killed by Lord Krishna by drinking that milk, it is like all of you will get prasada. So at that particular point, when Putana was killed by Lord Krishna by drinking her milk, then all of you will become liberated from that position and will come back and assume your post as devatas and demigods, and you will continue back here. So because Lord Shiva had promised them that Krishna will drink the milk of Putana, so Krishna had to execute that wish of his devotees. In that way, it is said, the Putana's previous life was like this. She has become a great personality. There are different stories. This is one story as explained by Lord Krishna to Narada. So spiritual life, we don't know why things happen. It is will of Lord. Why Kumaras came there? Why did they curse Jai Vijaya? It is will of the Lord. But they have to accept a position because they have been cursed by somebody else. Now what is that curse? How will be explained in the further verses. I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेम।